gods from India, Krishna, Vishnu, the Buddha, the god Hanuman, the god Ganesha, the god of Sita and Rama, and the different ones. So this is more of the East Indian aspect. As you know, the East Indian is nothing but your Kushites. It's called Indus Kush. So your Kushites are your Ethiopians. They travel on up into India, we call it Indus Valley. So we're talking about a black culture. You see what I'm saying? They've gotten lighter over the years as a caste system, but the majority of the people when you go to India is black people. They got more black people than almost any country on earth, almost. But they don't, they sequester a lot of them, the untouchables and stuff like that, or what they call Dravidians, the original ones. But this is all of their particular science. Now here is the grand spectrum of the Kamite, or the Neteru. What we did is we embarked upon a task to bring forth a kingdom. And I've been talking about it on the lectures. I got a lecture called Anubis, the Final Dimension of Melanin, I just did in New York. But it was a spiritual task where we had to amass 74 different statues. 74 different statues. You see what I'm saying? Anywhere from Anubis, we got different. This one here came off of the Eatonton, down at Dr. York's and them ground. They used to make these before, they disbanded them. They kicked them all off the land recently. So this is one of the first ones I had. I was given to this about 4 or 5 years ago. And so when this thing happens, it's almost like an obsession. That means you have a spirit pulling on you, trying to bring certain things forth. So here you have the different deities, Isis and Osiris, the goddess Sekhmet. And this is ironic here because this collection is a summit collection. I had to order this particular Sekhmet, which is the goddess of heat, the goddess of Kundalini energy, the goddess of love, and the goddess of fierce strength, and a goddess of battle. And I had to order this particular one because they only came out with this smaller one with the Summit collection. So I had to go online and order this one. And the day it came, it heated up. And when it got here, it was so hot outside. Until that was the day that it started the actual drought and the heat wave last summer. And it arrived with her. And she is the goddess of heat wave, or the goddess of the summer heat. Different ones, Ptah, Sekhmet. This is a god Nefertim, which we'll get into. I got 2 statues of him. This is the son of Sekhmet. We didn't have an actual statue, a picture of him, until we found one on the side of King's Tut sarcophagus and stuff. So this is a unique piece. This is a form of King Tut here. This is Bast. This one here is a cat goddess, Bast. This is a form of Anubis, but there's also a form of the original primordial god of Egypt, Set. This is a composite deity of the winged Isis, Maya, and Heru all together. This is the hippopotamus goddess, which is the original goddess of the world at the temple of Dendera, this hippopotamus goddess. Now around King Tut's sarcophagus was found 4 deities, 4 goddesses: Serket, Nis, Nephthys, Nephtet, and Aset, Isis. This is the god that is the god is the author of what will later on become the secret. This god here, the god Tahuti, is the Greek Hermes, and the Hermetic material is where the Hermetic laws is where they selected the laws of attraction for the actual series of the secret that's real popular at this time. This is the goddess Heru, the goddess of love. Behind there is the goddess Horus, or Ra-Heru Kahuti. God of war, God Anubis, the god Kanun, different ones, the god Set, god Khonsu, and the different ones. Here we have Isis and Osiris together, and behind that I put this picture. Couldn't exist, this particular picture, this picture of Barack Obama and his wife hugging at the because whether we like it or not, if you get out of the politics and just understand the Isis and Osiris energy, then you'll understand why I chose that. Here's a picture of one of the scholars that started the Afrocentric movement, or the Egyptian movement. This is the great scholar Dr. Ben. He's 90 now, and this sister named Bert just had her 70th birthday party in December of this year, and Dr. Ben came. And so this is Dr. Ben, who is 90 now. which is, and so they sent me this picture. So he was one of the people that's instrumental in actually starting me out in the whole HEMMITT thing. These are guardians, but it has the black and gold guardians of King Tut, which also represents melanin. So here we got other different pyramids, Maya figures. We have different aspects of the god of the Osiris, and up here is my name printed out of the Burgess Hieroglyphic Dictionary. So it's HEMMITT. And mine has 2 T's, but anyway, the name originates in Kemet. And there's a bit of a lineage on how it got to America. This is the goddess Tara. Now the goddess Tara is also the god who cried for the earth. And everywhere you go, the earth is called Tara, and everywhere you go, you will see there's a goddess of Tara in Europe, the goddess of Tara in Asia, one in Africa, she's also called Tyrt. And so there's different types of the green Tara, the red Tara, real powerful mother goddess, the goddess Tara. So this is her altar. As a matter of fact, her altar was instrumental in bringing my mother to the other side. Before my mother transitioned, we put this altar up, and as a result, she was one of the ones instrumental in bringing my mother. When my mother made the transition, she was one of the ones that actually helped her go through. We also have an ancestral altar for Linda's mother, who just recently passed, and they said she was the queen of the fairy realm. So we're going to get into what this fairy realm is. White folks is into it, but we don't know what it is, because the simple fact here is we don't know the African side of that. So that's her, this is some other different aspects of things that we're getting into. This is a Native American girl. This is a buffalo head right here. There's a goddess called Lama Dama that they worship in the islands, and probably also in New Orleans, and she's like an Anchamama deity. And when you see that rag and all that, that's the actual goddess that they actually worship. So this is now here we also have the Mayan calendar, Quetzalcoatl, and as you can see, we also have the goddess Billie Holiday, which is, you can adorn yourself with all different types of things. In here is this is Urzuli's room. Now Urzuli is a god of love, a god of wealth and prosperity in the voodoo pantheon. And as you can see, I got the music room too, my albums and different aspects of things in here, and they just taking over the house, and I got a whole other room with music. But this Urzuli, and we got 2 of them up here now. There was a Urzuli Frida, and later on we got an Urzuli Danta. And you see what I'm saying? And then we have a Linda. When she was a little girl, she had a little cat that she found, and so this is all representative of the goddess.
No, what I understand, I think you explained this before, sometimes it's not about reading a book and put it on your altar, you listening to what comes from within.
Exactly. I got one more I want to show you, and that's this one. This is one of my last drawings I did, and later on it became a goddess. I did this back right before I started lecturing in 91. And I what I did is I burned it up. That's when you make art. It doesn't necessarily, I purposely tore the paper up and different things like that. And it was an Afro woman. Actually, it was the woman Cleopatra Jones Tamara Dodson, but I changed her eyes up a little bit, so it didn't really look like her. And that way you take the picture for yourself. And then but I love the Afro. And later on, it became a goddess called Saint Martha, which is an Afro woman with a snake around her neck. It's very interesting. Now in here is the bathroom with the last altar, and this is the goddess. Her name is Yeminya. She's an African goddess, Yeminya. Yeminya is called Big Mama. And her colors is blue and white, but she wanted to go with a turquoise. This is the Dogon goddess of the same goddess called Emiya. And so this is, and her whole thing is fish and different things. So we went with a theme of a turquoise blue. We even got her dress over here hanging up. You see what I'm saying? When you deal with these goddesses, you deal with them on the same way you would deal with the feminine aspect of a woman that's living. You see what I'm saying? So they like the beauty and all this. So this is called Big Mama Yeminya. So we put her in the bathroom. And I was inspired from that by Voodoo Vokur in Detroit. So these are the different altars. Now let me explain a little bit on what's actually going on here. We live in 2 worlds. the physical world, and then there's a spiritual world that runs concurrently. And how you want to bring spiritual things through to the physical world is you would create statues of those particular energies. These gods are more formulas, just as well as you could say spirits. They are actually formulas. And so basically what the Egyptians used to do is, for whatever type of energy that they wanted to bring through to the earth, they would actually transport energy from one dimension into the next dimension. We would say that, in all honesty, this is one of the missions on how those temples and pyramids were built.